the replay, this is just a simple 20-second lead in as we wait for ads to play and for it to go live on the other end. So if you've made it here at 7 p.m. Central, 8 Eastern on a Thursday night, you know you are watching the CarrGuy and SixFan show here on YouTube. Tonight, I'm your host. I am Grant Tommy, your straight SixFan, which makes me SixFan of this operation. So that means this guy over here is...
I am Jason, and I am the CarrGuy of the CarrGuy and SixFan show. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. And, kind of ringing in the season 6, I guess we are, kind of end of season for us. We're kind of wrapping things up. We've got a lot to do tonight. So we're going to kind of jump through fairly quickly, but because we got a lot to cover, we do want to start off by making sure everybody that's in the chat gets recognized who's here and has been here early. Stephen Miller, Crash's Roadrunner Garage. That's a new one. I haven't seen that one before. We've got Melissa in there helping us with the mods tonight. Mike Narks, Selected Customs, 815 LSX Swaps. Mr. Sedan Man, welcome. Will's Wheels, Nick's Garage, Everything's Broken Garage, Turlo's Garage, Rusty Wrenches, and they're still pouring in. Guys, if you're just coming in the door, hit that thumbs up. Make sure you share out this video so people know that we just went live for the CarrGuy and SixFan show, season 6, season finale.
Yeah, thanks, Jason, for grabbing all that in the chat. And we do have tonight's going to be a special show too, because not only is it the season finale, we'll stick around till the end of it, and we want to kind of give back to those of you who've given to us via super chat all season long. So we do have some prizes to hand out if you were one of those donors. You didn't know it at the time that's what that money was going to, because you were just freely giving. And since you guys are such good at freely giving of your hard-earned money, we do ask tonight that you actually do not give us super chats. We're very specifically asking us not for a single super chat. If you do feel generous tonight, we ask that you direct that money towards a fellow YouTuber who's battling cancer right now, Po Boys Diesel. A little bit about Po Boys Diesel. Back when Jason and I, well before the CarrGuy and SixFan show, I used to have a segment called Know Your Neighbors, and I'd interview other YouTube channels. Jason was the guest on that segment, but Po Boys Diesel, Omar as well, and just a super generous guy himself. He'd give you the shirt off his back if you would. And so he's been struggling with I don't think it's stage 4, but pretty close to stage 4 cancer. And so Melissa will be dropping in. It's in our description below. Po Boy's GoFundMe page. You can read about what he's battling with. But Melissa will be dropping that link in the chat as well. So please, if you want to give money tonight, please give it to Po Boy and help him with his medical bills.
And I do see Omar in the chat tonight. He says that he's in the hospital hiding his phone, but he's trying to catch the show at the same time. So Omar, welcome to the show. Glad to have you in the chat. And guys, like we said, we don't want your super chats tonight. We're going to be looking after that at the end of the show as kind of a give back to you guys. If you do feel the need to throw a couple of dollars to something good tonight, hit up the link in the description box down below.
And so before we get too far down the road, I just wanted to kind of do give you an update on Omar himself. He recently had a successful surgery with gastric bypass. He says it felt like a horse kicked him in the chest and stomach, but he's on the way to recovery. And so he knows that prayers have definitely been working. And so we want to help on the financial side here tonight. Well, Jason, so with that, we've got it's kind of a variety show tonight. We've got a number of topics we want to get into, but it is that time of year. And, since 2020 robbed us of everything that was good, one of those victims was the SEMA show in Las Vegas. So we have back in our lives SEMA 2021. I'll kind of hand it over to you, and let's kick that off a little bit and talk a little bit about what we're living in right now.
Yeah, so with SEMA kind of being back again, back in the spotlight, you're going to see a lot of new things. If you remember 2 years ago, we did a SEMA special. I'm trying to get my my thing to come up here, but it doesn't seem to want to do what I want it to. There we go. And I'm just going to click that and click this. So one of the big focuses in SEMA, and I want to thank John from Get Out and Drive for sharing these pictures. He's been in Las Vegas this week, and he kindly gave up these pictures to show to us. You see Project X there on the screen. The big thing I think I have found this year, Grant, you can correct me if I'm wrong, is a huge focus on EVs, electric vehicle conversions. You saw Project X. There was some square body out there from salvage to savage. Like, this is kind of the new generation of aftermarket, is people are taking EVs and bringing them to showcase at SEMA. Lots of new stuff. This car I've never seen before in my life. I don't even know what it is. Maybe a Morris of some sort. But it's the week of SEMA. Things are kind of back in full swing. I had hoped myself to be able to get there last year, but of course, with the world coming to an end, so to speak, it was unobtainable. So maybe next year we'll plan a trip across country, and then that way we'll be able to make sure that we have the opportunity to meet up with some of you guys as well.
To answer Turlo's question, no, my Fairmont did not make it to SEMA this year. I don't know if they have enough drip pans in Vegas for what Project Low Fairmont would bring, but yeah, the topic of electric vehicles has been a hot topic, of course, here on CarRguy and SixFan Show Season 6. I know we've talked about it more than once on the show, so I don't want to get into that one too deep, but it is, as you mentioned, Jason, maybe not a huge portion of the show, really, but definitely the most we've seen ever. And, so if that only makes up 10% of all the cars there, that's still probably more than we've ever seen. And yes, Project X in of itself, if you guys out there caught Uncle Tony's Garage, he did kind of a sound off on that. And I thought it was a very well done video. He's not against EVs himself. He just thought they picked the worst possible car because of what the history of that car was. It had a really long lineage of like magazine status, and it was all about being something the working man could do. And he just thought that dropping an electric motor in it put it way outside of the ballpark of the working man. But anyway, I didn't want to get too far down in that. I did just want to say that I know there was also like a Ford F100, like a a resto mod version of like a lowered cream colored like 78, 79 F100, and I think they put it on a new Gen 3 Lightning chassis, and I thought that was pretty cool as heck. Just a really good looking car. And whether you like it or not, it's here to stay. It's just going to be the next arm of this hobby that we love. And again, I don't think it's going to take over our hobby by any stretch of imagination, but get used to it. It's going to be part of our hobby, and I think that's the important message here.
Yeah, and if you guys want to see more great content on the on SEMA, if you're not catching enough of it as it is on YouTube or on Instagram, head on over to the Get Out and Drive guys Instagram, because they are showcasing a lot of stuff, a lot of products, a lot of different booths that are there, and some really, really neat cars and trucks and all that different stuff. So make sure you go check those guys out. They've also got the podcast. If you're not subscribed to the podcast, make sure you do that as well.
Yeah, and while the chat's going pretty good, I see a lot of good conversation going on there. I'm curious to get everybody else's maybe one of your top picks from SEMA 2021, something you've seen on Instagram. If I'm being honest, I really haven't followed it too close. What was it, 2 years ago, Jason? We had the luxury of having kind of boots on the ground out there, and we were able to go live straight to Vegas with a fellow YouTuber, and that was a really cool experience for us. Just, do you have a top favorite? I mean, I know you talked about Project X, and then you kind of shared some of those, but do you have a top favorite outside of any of those photos?
I do, and it comes from a YouTube channel called Salvage to Savage. I've mentioned it before, I think, in a previous a previous episode of our show. It's a square body truck that's been Tesla dual motor swapped. I'm kind of partial to square bodies, and Teslas aren't necessarily my thing, but it's a really neat looking rig. And they also sent a twin turbo LS swapped DeLorean. So check out their channel too, Salvage to Savage. is what it's called. That was the ones that stood out to me the most because I've been following their story on and off throughout their lead up to SEMA. Grant, is there something that kind of jumped out to you that you might want to make mention, send some people over to take a look at?
Well, just like I mentioned, that electric Ford truck, but of course, was sporting the welder up hat tonight. Just the fact that Steve Darnell took the D-Rod out to the sand dunes before he brought it into SEMA, so it was kind of cool just seeing it filthy and everything. But some cool. So Dent side, there's a pre-runner. Dent side turned into a pre-runner, and that's pretty cool as well. But I think that one's been around for a while. I did want to mention that for those just kind of joining us here midstream, so like Wayland's Wire, Welcome, Wasted Talent Fabrications, Monster Rust, and Country Boy Gas Garage, Paul's Speed Shop. If you missed it, Melissa Nunez has been kind of pumping in the chat every so often a link to a GoFundMe page. And we ask you guys tonight, if you feel generous and you want to be given some money tonight, do not give us a super chat. We ask you to direct those monies, those dollars, over to that GoFundMe page. It is a fellow YouTuber we're trying to help out, Po Boys Diesel. He was in the middle of a really cool OBS Ford Power Stroke build. He was creating fiberglass molds. He was going to wind up creating his own, which just blew my mind just watching that process. He was making fiberglass molds so then he could make carbon fiber bedsides and fenders and stuff so he could reduce all the weight on like a F-250 Power Stroke. So it was going to be pretty wild. And then, of course, his life got flipped upside down with his battle with cancer. So we want to help him take care of some of his medical bills. So, well, yeah. Okay.
No, I was just going to say that it's a great cause, and he's of course being in the hospital, in and out. This sort of thing, it's costly, no matter where you are, and it's a stress on friends and family as well. So just make sure you head on over there, throw a few dollars. Jimmy C and Friends is in the house. Welcome. And I also seen somebody else say hi that I might have missed. I apologize. Country Boy Gas Garage jumped in there. I think you already mentioned it. Yeah, I wanted to make sure I caught that Whale and Wire. Thanks, Ken, for jumping in there as well.
Well, the other thing we wanted to do here tonight on Season's End, it's not going to be a lot different than last week's episode when we handed out awards. We looked back on the season and handed out awards for the season, but we want to take some time to look back on the whole year as a whole and outside of the CarrGuy and SixFan show for both Jason and I's channels. Sometimes it's not, it's not December, but it's the end of season 6. So we wanted to kind of just take a moment, think about what's gone on our channels here over the past 11 months now, and kind of reflect on where we've come, really. And so, Jason, I'll let you start. It's kind of, I know you've had a lot of, like the house move and all that stuff. Like, it's just really amazing what can happen in years. So take it away.
Yeah, so I mean, that's the biggest thing that's happened with us is, the taking advantage of the housing market. Selling our house was a great opportunity to get into something new. On this piece of property that we have, a little bigger piece of property away from, neighbors and prying eyes. I've got the opportunity to build what I'm classifying as a dream garage. It's the biggest garage that I've ever made, or that I've ever built. And it's coming along great. And I'm looking forward to getting into that, hopefully have it closed in and, getting some work done on the inside here in the next month or so. But it's been a huge change. Obviously, I'm not out in my garage. I lost the garage when I sold my house, so I have no place to store my vehicles currently. Operating the CarrGuy and SixFan show out of the comfort of my kitchen. So I hope you guys have appreciated the non-car automobilia attire stuck on the back window, and rather the wedding picture on the wall there in the dining room. Anyways, it's been great doing this show for 3 years now. We've been managed to get 2 seasons per year. Every year it's grown. We're learning new things. We're getting to meet some great people. The chat is growing. Our audience is growing. And I think that, the reputation of the CarrGuy and SixFan show is getting to the point where I think, and I'm not just trying to toot my own horn, but I think people are starting to notice us a little bit. And as we continue to the season 7 commitment that will start in the new year, we hope that we can bring more great content, more great adventures to the show in season 7. And I hope you guys will come along with us.
Yeah, and I think as I look back on my year, it's kind of to Jason's point. I know a lot of you don't like the void that we leave you in between seasons, but it is a nice break time for Jason and I. But we did want to encourage you to let you know that we usually tend to slip at least one live stream in there in the kind of as an encore presentation. It's especially this time of year. Being asked for what cold snacks we got, so I've got Shinerbach tonight. But as I reflect on the year, that's where I like to start every year. Is I've been doing what I call, it's basically my Know Your Neighbors segment that I call back in the day when it's called Hangouts, Google Hangouts, so I call it Hangover Hangouts. I try to highlight one channel, and that's what we started 2021 with. Was our boy Dan from Greasy Boy Customs was our guest right there on January 1. And follow that up with the Zip Ties and Bias Supplies Burnout Challenge. So stole the wife's EcoBoost for that. I lifted my truck this year. My old high school truck found me. I started the What We Weld in Weekly campaign, try to improve my welding skills. Really, it's like, man, if you don't do this, and then we had our solo B-roll challenge, and I feel like I really challenged myself, kind of stretched some talents I normally wouldn't do there, and that was a lot of fun. And we had such a great turnout too, of all you viewers pumping out the content, and so that was really fun to look through. But yeah, we put an intercooler on the wife's Mustang. I finally found drive in the Fairmont. We did some 0 to 60s in the Fairmont. I mean, it's just been, by and large, won an award at a car show with the Fairmont. I mean, it's just really like if I didn't do this whole YouTube thing, and I think we broke the ceiling of this room, this chat room, when Ken from Wayland's Wilder came on the CarrGuy and SixFan show. It's like, man, if we didn't do this YouTube thing, I guess I don't know that I would really truly appreciate how blessed I have been here in 2021.
Well, and the other thing too is, looking forward to future seasons of the CarrGuy and SixFan show. Grant and I have always said that we would mutually agree on when we felt the time would come that we may not do that show anymore. And I mean, by golly, I think we're just having too much fun right now to say to heck with anything. But Grant, as we look forward to the CarrGuy and SixFan show, what might be some of the things that you would look forward to bringing to the channel or to the show that might help garner some more viewership or some bigger names or what have you?
Well, I know historically in the past, when we don't have a guest on, when we have our legacy episodes, it seems like the crowds really enjoyed those interactive opportunities, and we kicked off 2021 with the I was trying to, like, I don't think a lot of people got the reference, but like a hot dog race at the ballpark, when it's always mustard, relish, and ketchup going at it. We took Buick, Oldsmobile, and Pontiac, and kind of did viewers' choice of the A bodies, and went through 64 to 72. I had a lot of fun with that, and I know the crowd usually seems to like that. But honestly, I don't know that I can come up with anything that I want to say, like, I want to graduate the show in this way. What I want to do, season 5, I think, was a huge turning point for the show, and I can't talk about the success of season 5 without mentioning our friends who are at Coastal Auto Reaction. They really brought a contingent over. I didn't know that channel probably this time a year ago. But Luke and Uncle Bobo, when they came in, then we got to learn the likes of like Roy Smarco Garage, Robert's Garage,
King
Montana
Erik, the greatest
Garage.
of all.
King Erik's been there since day one. But I want to just figure out how can we sustain what season 5 kind of was. Season 6 dipped a little bit, but we had a more roller coaster, like really high highs, and we dipped below maybe what our average was in season 5. But that's what I want to see if we can sustain kind of what we started at the beginning of the year. How about you, Jason?
Yeah, I'm along the same lines too. I think that one of the things that you talked about the highs and the lows, of the dips of the roller coasters, is in season 5 we really did focus on getting some big names and some popular guests on the show, and but we didn't this year. We didn't want to forget about the small guys, and the reason why we started the show, and that was to bring some of the smaller channels in and highlight them. And we had Build One More was a guest, Monster Rust was a guest, and some of those smaller channels that we had on here. Sometimes those channels can be just as much fun highlighting and talking and bringing them to you guys as some of the bigger channels that we've had on the show. Obviously, when we had Ken on here from Whale and Wire, it was something that was we knew we were going to draw a crowd, but we never thought that we would see that 150 people in the chat type thing. So I would certainly love to be able to see 150 or more people in the chat all the time. Yeah, Ken says, if you want more views, just set something on fire. You know what? That's a challenge, Grant. That's a challenge. Season 7, we've got to set something on fire.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Yeah. Well, and also I think I think if we're looking back again on the full year, to your point, Jason, sometimes the smaller channels can be some of the best interviews for us, and I think I speak for you when I say, I think one of our all-time greatest ones we really enjoyed was Ellie's Garage, having her and her dad on, and so I think the CarrGuy and SixFan show is also getting to the point where we've been around long enough now where, and we have not everybody's seen all 6 seasons. So we're constantly getting a little bit of a newer crowd in every time as people are finding us. I think it's time that we definitely could repeat some of our guests. So I would be curious to hear from the chat right now if anybody has someone that you've previously seen here on the CarrGuy and SixFan show that you'd want to see again. And we'll certainly take note of that.
Yeah, and part of that too is that every time that we have a guest on the show, we always ask if they would be up for having a second interview or come back and see us again. And most of the time, people are very accommodating. So if there's somebody that you want to see, like Grant said, on the channel again, that's been with us in the past, whether it was from season 3, 4, 5, or 6, let us know. We'll be more than happy to throw that invite out, or even if there's somebody new that you would like to see on the channel that basically is automotive related, car related, something to do with the with the market, the niche market that we're in, and that we're focusing on here on YouTube. Maybe we can get somebody new in as well.
Yeah, and I'll also say to that point that it's not like being a guest on the CarrGuy and SixFan show is being part of a secret society. Like Jason and I don't really have that any criteria other than you got to be an automotive YouTuber. But we've actually had on from time to time too, just like channel growth experts as well. Outside of those 2 niches, I don't think there's a lot of I suppose if there was like someone who built chopper motorcycles or something, that would be relevant. It's pretty close, but feel free if you want to be a guest on the CarrGuy and SixFan show to reach out to us via. We really prefer like direct messages on like Instagram or Twitter, Facebook. But you can find Jason and I's email addresses in our about pages on our YouTube pages as well. What we don't like is when someone in the chat ends up saying, "Hey, how come you didn't have me on the show yet?" And that's about the only thing that really gets under our skin. Just reach out privately and we'd be more than happy to like pencil you in. But it's also, and sorry, Jason, I'm going to blabbing on, but it's also like we have a balance when it comes to scheduling. Like we want to make sure we have the slots filled, but we also, because the show stretches 18 weeks, like we're not going to book someone for week 18 6 weeks before we start the season 7, because nobody's going to remember what in the heck they committed to. That's like almost, I don't even know how, that's half a year away, So we try to like kind of fill up like the first half of the season pretty quick. Then we take 2-3 weeks off, and then we start soliciting and going out looking for more people. So anyway, I'm kind of done with the scheduling bit there.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like it's we do try and balance it. And the fun of the show sometimes is the surprise of having certain guests on the show, and you guys sometimes not knowing who it's going to be. And I think sometimes that works, but also sometimes building up the show so you do know who it is what is going to get people excited to want to come in and join and be a part of the program. And I did see somebody in there mention that we should have Scott from Cold War Motors. I think that would be a great idea. But Scott from Cold War Motors would have to answer a text or an email or something like that first beforehand. Anyways. And the other thing is, I think I saw Mike say that we should have Melissa on as a guest. I'm not sure if Melissa would be up for that. I'd be up for that if she was interested in coming on, being a part of the show. Something tells me she's just as happy being where she is. Steve Magnante, yes, I see he's got a new YouTube channel as well, guys. If you haven't started following him, he's got a small YouTube channel now. It's growing very quickly, of course, because of his kind of star status, but very interesting to get out there. He's been doing some old junkyard walks and showing you what's out there, and some of his knowledge is coming through with VIN decoding. He's very knowledgeable with certain vehicles like that.
And Steve Mignon, I can't Asta Mignante. Well, I don't know.
The G is silent, so it's Magnante.
Magnante. I can't ever pull that one off. I think it'd be fun to have him on, but with Chad Ehrlich too, from Nobody's show, and listen to the two guys. Of them. Just like, no, remember in '54 they didn't have the dash trim on the,
Oh yeah.
We could put our mics on pause and just let them
battle of wits and just let them go at it. We'll just sit back and referee. Yeah, so I guess that's kind of the overview, guys, of what we're hoping to see in season 7. If I look at my calendar here really, really quick, I think that the first episode will air on the 6th of January, and then things kind of move on from there for 18 weeks, and then we take some time off. This is probably a good point, or a good segue into saying that even though we take time off between tonight and January the 6th, we always will like to do a Christmas special together. We dress up with our Santa hats and our ugly sweaters, and we just have a little bit of fun, shooting the breeze for 45 minutes, an hour, whatever, having some refreshments and just chatting with you guys. And I know that you guys loved doing that with us the last couple of seasons. Well, I think we'd like to do that again. And if Grant's up for it, I certainly am. And we'll try and narrow down a time in the near future, because that is really quickly coming upon us.
Yeah, and I see our friend Paul from Paul's Speed Shop, who's draggy. I need to mail back to him. With
butt crack pizza.
Yeah. On Instagram. Check out his channel if you haven't. He's trying to hit the century mark, so the 100 subscriber mark here, and I think he would definitely appreciate you guys at least giving him the time. Go check out a video or two. You don't have to subscribe. You don't have to like anything. Just give him 2 seconds to go look at his channel, see if it's something you're interested in. So, yeah. Well, that's kind of. Now, we will be giving away our prize packs here, Jason, in a little bit, but we've pretty much covered what we wanted. We did just want to circle back around one more time and remind everybody that no super chats, please, tonight. If you really feel the urge to want to donate some money, we ask that you send it towards our friend Omar over at Po Boys Diesel. He has a GoFundMe page to help him cover his medical expenses due to his diagnosis with cancer. So please do that. Gary Mathis, you're saying Nivlock 57, which is Kelvin spelled backwards. Took me a while to figure that out. He would be one that I think would be a great fit on the show, since he's building Vortec or Atlas 4200s left and right. Even swapped one in a Fairmont, so he's basically probably my brother from another mother. Likes Fairmonts and straight sixes, so I think that's another another good one.
Yeah, and Luke from Coastal Auto Reaction says that Scott is actually watching and says he would pass on the info. So Scott, reach out. We'll see if we can't schedule a time that works for both you and us for season 7. We go from January till May, and it's Thursday nights at 7 o'clock Central Time, which I believe would be 5 o'clock Mountain, maybe in Alberta. I don't know my time zone's that great out that way.
Mountain is 6, and then Pacific would be 5.
There you go. So, yeah, just reach out to me, and we'll try and get that squeezed in there as well.
And just as a little memory trick, best way to remember CarrGuy and SixFan Show seasons, they always start the first Thursday after the New Year's and the first Thursday after the 4th of July. So that's kind of how we do it.
Yep. And it goes for 18 weeks. And of course, as you guys already know, it's every other week we share responsibilities for the show. So it's hosted this week on Grant's channel. Last week it was on mine. And every season when we start, we also alternate that way too. So I forget who started this season this time around, but maybe it was me. And then next time on season 7, I think Grant will be starting somehow. We'll figure it out. We're there somewhere.
I think the way it works out is if you end.
Oh yeah, you ended it, so I'll start it this season 7.
Well, I was gonna say, well, I don't know. Whatever. What? Yeah, that's probably right.
I'm confused.
Yeah. Point is, you guys will tune in at some point after the New Year's and see our smiling faces once again.
Look right there, Left for Dead Garage. Igor must host the Christmas show. Did we not talk about that before we went live?
We did, yes.
We did, didn't we?
Igor may stumble upon the webcam after too much eggnog.
See, the thing is with Igor's unvaccinated, so for him to travel, it's very tough. So we'll have to figure that one out. But yeah, I'll do my best to see if I can get Igor to be on the channel at some point in time. Might not be for Christmas, but nevertheless, I think it's time to give some prizes away. I really do.
Yeah, I think now's as good time as ever. And so again, every time a super chat was given throughout the season, Jason and I just made sure we inventoried that. And Jason, I don't know if your rules were much different than mine, but for every US dollar spent, I just literally wrote that down. In fact, I guess I can quickly screen share my spreadsheet if I do this right. Oh, this is gonna be awkward.
Well, actually, if I can correct you just very, very quickly, when we did this last season, one thing that we did say was we did not narrow it down as far as a US dollar. We said for every dollar spent, just simply because there were some Australian dollars in there. There were some Canadian dollars in there and some US dollars. And we did not want to segregate people because your dollar is worth more or less. We just want to say for every dollar spent, then we would make sure that people got an entry for every dollar that they super chatted. So I think that's a fair way to do it.
That's how you did it. That's not how I did it. So we did have different rules, but again, it wasn't a true giveaway, right? Like you guys didn't know you were actually entering into this, so I guess it probably really doesn't matter that the rules were fair or unfair because you guys didn't even know you were entering into an opportunity. So I've inventoried all that, and I show I have 247 entries, and so with that, Jason will do a random
number generator for 200 and what?
Let me double check. 247.
247. All right. So I've got my random, I don't know if you can see that, random number generator. And I'm going to hit randomize. Where we get some, there we go, 152.
152. So bring this back up. No, it's not. Well, anyway, 152 is, let's see here. Luke from Coastal Auto Reaction, he had entries 143 to 164. So let me, just for transparency, I don't know why it won't
congratulations, Luke from Coastal Auto Reaction
Yeah.
is the big winner. Does Luke even know what he's winning? Did we talk about the
We did
prizes yet?
not.
Hey,
So
let's talk about the prizes.
that would be a good idea. So, Luke, you won a 30-ounce Yeti tumbler with my logo etched on it, as well as of course the URL. So when someone's like, "Man, that's a really cool logo," because I know people are going to say that, and you're going to tell
Really
them
cool.
where to check them out at. So there's my URL. So you'll be getting the Yeti tumbler, and then I had been gifted a set of nut drivers. I already have a set, so instead of throwing them away, instead of giving them somewhere, I just held on to them for this giveaway. So congratulations, Luke. We'll be shipping those up to Canada, and you should be getting those as well.
Yeah, so this is one area where Grant outdid me as far as prizes go this year. So one of the things that I will be doing is I'm going to be giving away some swag. So I'll give you your choice of an old CarrGuy T-shirt. So it could be the new logo, it could be a 10K tee, it could be a Focus tee, it could be a Dale the Truck tee, whatever you want off of the off my Spreadshirt store. I'll make sure that that gets to you. Also, I do have a new Frost Buddy cooler. It's much like the competition that I use here, where you spin it off and you put your favorite drink down in. Holds many different size cans and bottles. I'll make sure one of those gets out to you, as well as some stickers and such like that. So my spread sheet is a piece of paper with everybody's name and the numbers of entries and everything on it. And same thing, I had 380 entries, so I'm going to enter in 380 into my random number generator here.
I've got it. Jason.
You got it?
Yep.
Perfect.
So
go ahead and spin her up from 1 to 380.
There we go. And
need a hand?
I do. Oh, there you
go. Number 47. So we go up to number 47, and it looks like Roy Marco had entries 35 through 52. So that falls right within the category. Roy Marco is winning a old CarrGuy T-shirt of his choice, as well as the new Frost Buddy that I'll be shipping off to him. 2 Canadians winning prizes tonight on the CarrGuy and SixFan show. So sorry, U.S. guys, for not making the cut this time around, but that's great. And it's 2. I don't think Roy made it into the chat tonight. Maybe he did. Did I see him in there?
Yeah, he was in there. Yep.
Okay.
I mean, I think he's still in there,
yep.
But I know I saw him.
I see him.
Yep,
I see him down there. So Roy, I've got your information already, I think, because I did send you some stickers. But yeah, Jason's twin brother wants something. So I'll be sending out. The tumbler, not the tumbler, the koozie thingy. From Frost Buddy, and I'll also be getting you to pick out a shirt from my Spreadshirt store, and you can I'll get that shipped off to you as well. There you go, guys. That's a big thank you for giving us your super chats throughout season 6, and we just felt the need that you guys throw us money like it's going out of fashion sometimes, and we just want to be able to give it back, and this is one way that we're going to do it.
Yep. We and it's been fun. It's always nobody knew this was going on. Maybe you had an inkling because we did it in season 5. We were a little more kind of upfront about it, but things kind of changed between, I guess we'll say, in the off season. So we did it a little bit differently, but we do appreciate all of your super chats as well. So Jason, I think in true CarrGuy and SixFan show fashion, we always like to talk about YouTube tips and tricks, and it's funny because I recently, just as of yesterday, got an email from a kind of like an acquaintance, like not a close friend, but like a friend of my brother's kind of thing. He's doing a YouTube thing, and he only he has under 100 subscribers, and he was asking for help understanding this basically some of his analytics. And he's like, why did, when this video was no longer relevant, because he like went to an event or something, and it was like 4 days later after the event, it shot way up. And he's like, what did I do here? Like, why would have gotten popular that much later when it was no longer relevant? The event, it was very time specific. And so it was fun to be able to help him break down like what click-through rate was, what search function, like basically whatever he did, it must have been very searchable, the way he titled the video, the way he put in his description. I mean, I think after 4 days, it was at 1,300 views, which, like, for you or me, Jason,
that's pretty amazing, really.
Yeah, to only have, I was like, yeah, I wish I knew what you did for my own videos.
Maybe we should be talking to him, asking him for help.
Yes, I know. Yeah, and I think however long the graph was, I think it was up to like 6,800 or something, like in a week or something. But anyway, to be able to help coach somebody through, it was very rewarding, and to know that, like, I kind of know my stuff, but like normally most years I'm geeking out to some like think media or video creators and trying to keep up on, okay, what's YouTube expecting you to do to get noticed and things like that. And I really haven't here in 2021. But I guess like I said, it was just kind of rewarding to know that you could help someone out because of experience, at least. And that was just kind of something new in my world, and just kind of wanted to share that. So that's what we want to do here in the CarrGuy and SixFan show. Do you have anything, Jason, that when you think about it, any some new hack or something that you've learned here recently?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a hack, and I think I've mentioned it before, but if you guys are not on board yet with YouTube Shorts, do it. If you don't know what it is, go to YouTube Creators Studio. There's usually a little spot on the right-hand side that gives you some tips and tricks about different things that YouTube is doing. And with YouTube Shorts, you're throwing something out there, they'll let you do up to a minute, but in most cases, the shorter the better. Thanks, Dan, for being in the chat tonight. YouTube Shorts, if you can create something, 5, 10, 15 seconds, that is either funny, satisfying to watch, scary, gross, whatever it happens to be, that's funny, it's going to attract people to that video. And if YouTube's algorithm for shorts grabs a hold of that, I had one video in the course of a couple of days start off very, very slow, and then 2 days later, it got 10,000 views. So if you're trying to build views for your channel, YouTube Shorts is a great way to do it, because on average right now, I'm getting 500 to 700 views per short. Very little, absolutely no editing. Throw them up there in 5 seconds and be done. It's almost like a TikTok, but it's YouTube's version. So if you can do that, it'll drive views to your channel. People will start to find out who you are and what you're about. So that's my tip or my trick or whatever you want to call it. It's been working for me. I try and put out at least 1 or 2 a week. For a while, I was just pounding them out because I wasn't being able to create very much video or content for you guys. So play around with it. Have some fun. You never know if, to save you the effort of putting, 2 or 3 hours into creating a video and then another hour or 2 editing it, and then, thumbnails and titles and all this stuff. Throw a YouTube short up, even if it's part of your video. Get it up there. Get people coming, finding your channel.
Yeah, and I certainly don't do them like you do, Jason. But the last one I did, I'm just looking at my analytics right now, was just a week ago, and 855 views. And I don't have normal videos that get 855 views in a week. I mean, I'll just be honest, like I'm not there. So it definitely backs up everything you're saying.
Yeah, like I said, very little effort to get it out there and get the same, if not more, potentially, infantile. Like it can just bring people in, drive traffic, and that's kind of what I feel it's doing for me right now. If I have to add one more to that, TikTok, you're doing the same thing. You're creating those quick, short videos, informative, satisfying, funny, scary, whatever it happens to be. Get it out there. You never know when one might take off. I have one that I did a few weeks back. It's already hit a million views. Unfortunately, I'm not getting paid on TikTok because you have to have 10,000 followers. I've got 1,300. So if it was a paying video, it would have been pretty good. But nevertheless, if it was a YouTube video, it would have been worth probably several $1,000s. But the idea is you never know when one's going to take off. So keep doing them, throw them out there, a couple a week, commit yourself to doing that.
And to tie those two together, lesson learned. I know, Jason, you've brought to my attention. If you are doing the TikTok, you can export those over straight to YouTube Short, but know that YouTube doesn't like the music that TikTok
Right.
has. So
That's right.
you'll want to mute that or something like that. But yeah, and so I guess that leaves us with what's coming up on Old CarrGuy. What's kind of the peek behind the curtains for content over there?
A couple of things. So we are doing more Panther platform videos here in the near future. You saw the one that went out last week where we did some paint touch-ups and got grandma clean and ready for winter. We're going to get some winter tires on there. We got some new struts and upper ball joints to do. And we're going to be getting blackjack out here real quick because it won't be long. The snow will be flying, and Dale the truck will have to go away for the winter. So looking forward to getting back behind the wheel of blackjack. If you guys don't know who or what blackjack is, it's my 2003 Grand Marquis. I lifted 3 inches and put 31-inch tires for a total of a 5-inch lift. It's pretty rad. And I'm trying to work with Everything is Broken Garage, who is a YouTube channel out of Newfoundland, who has hopefully secured a diesel powertrain, which we would like to be able to swap into blackjack. So it's something that hopefully, if we can make that happen, be a little bit of a collaboration with Ryan and trying to make sure that we can get blackjack rolling coal, as po' boys would say.
I thought when you were first explained, if you don't know what blackjack is, it's a Grand Marquis I drive down my driveway to get to work. I thought is what you were going to say.
You know what? That's the thing. I got what, 4 project cars, and I don't drive any of them anymore.
Yeah.
I walk to work. It's like a minute.
Yeah.
So I got, like, yesterday, I come home for lunch every day, and yesterday I purposely said, you know what? I think I got to go get some McDonald's or Burger King or something like that, just so I can drive my truck. So I did. I just drove around town for half an hour while I was eating my lunch, just so I could drive it.
Yeah, I guess first world problems, right? Like you can walk
exactly. Yeah, right.
Yeah, just
uphill both ways.
One last time. The link that Melissa Nunya has been pumping in the chat, that is a GoFundMe for a fellow YouTuber struggling with cancer. He had stage 4 cancer, but because of chemo treatments and the other various treatments he's tried, like proton therapy and things, it has gone down. It's classified as stage 3B, it appears. So Omar from Po' Boys Diesel, make sure we appreciate greatly, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, that nobody gave us any dollars in super chats tonight. And so we hope all of those dollars that you thought about sharing with us, that you've shared with Omar. And then if you're watching this on the replay, there is a link in the description below to that GoFundMe page as well. As for content coming up on my channel, it does appear I will be making another trek down to my parents' house to try to wrap up some of the stuff we started, swapping over parts from my old high school truck over to theirs, and really hope to button that up to get them a good solid driver again. But we shall see. Sometimes you think you're going and then you don't. So we shall see. But I think that's what you'll probably see next week.
I just jumped over to Po' Boy's GoFundMe page, and I see some names I recognize in there. So guys, thanks so much for sending over some donations for him. I know he appreciates that. He's expressed that in the chat. And it's great to have a car community that comes together in times like this. It's not the first time that this has happened. So again, thank you to everybody who's been in the chat that's gone over there and thrown a couple dollars his way.
And I do want to take that a step further, because like you said, Jason, it's not the first time something like this has happened. I dozed off on my couch tonight when I came home from work for a little bit, and when I woke up, a coworker who I'd seen, 2 hours prior to this text message basically said she won't be into work tomorrow because when she got home, her parents informed her mother had been diagnosed with cancer. So it's out there and around every corner. I think everybody knows someone affected by it. So we want to do what we can because you never know. It's golden rule, right? Do unto others as you'd want to be treated. We don't know when it could be you or me in a matter of time. So um, appreciate our health and well-being and take advantage of it every day you can because life's short certainly, and every day's a blessing.
Absolutely. And you know what? That's what friends are for, is it's coming together and being able to help each other out. When Luke was battling with his health issues as well, he had a big fundraiser over there and raised, almost, what was it, over $1,000. Maybe Luke can correct me if I'm wrong, but everyone in the community came together and helped with that. And I think that having friends to lean on, whether they're close or just acquaintances in most cases, the fact that we're willing to help somebody out in need is great. The other thing that I want to make sure you guys do is Melissa has also shared his YouTube channel information. Make sure you go over there and check it out because some of the things he was doing with that old F-250 is pretty interesting stuff and very educational. So it might be something that you find interesting. I know Mike Narks might learn something over there, maybe to find himself a way to create some sort of a lightweight exoskeleton or some covering for that Narks cart. Maybe, who knows?
And I know Country Boy Gas Garage mentioned earlier, it's kind of in line that, it could be any one of us. And I realize I'm behind on sticker shout outs because on my desk is your sticker. So I need to get caught up on that. But you know what? Thursday nights will open up for me here coming up pretty soon. So I think I can get around to that.
Yeah, so I think we're getting pretty close to closing off the show. I do want to throw one more thing out there, which I meant to do in my last video, is I'm looking for inexpensive automobilia stuff that I can decorate my shop with. If you guys have got some extra stuff that you just want to get rid of, let me know. I'd be willing to help with the shipping to get it to me, because obviously a lot of you guys are in the US. And some of you from far away in Canada. If you got something you think I might be interested in, let me know, because I really want to do something nice and decorate the shop up, because you guys are going to be seeing a lot of it, and maybe you guys want to see something that you've donated hanging on the wall. So keep that in mind, whether it be license plates or signs or car parts. The bigger they are, the more expensive they are shipped. Keep that in mind. But nevertheless, always looking for some neat stuff to hang on the wall.
Well, very well said, Jason. Just wanted to remind everybody, we'll see you the first Thursday after the New Year's, and for season 7. So aside from that, Jason, why don't you just close it on out for us?
Absolutely. So thanks everyone for joining in on this final CarrGuy and SixFan show of 2021. Actually, we're going to be doing a Christmas special, but regular season, and taking your time out of your Thursday evenings to be with us all year long. It's always great. We thank everybody in the chat who comes along. Those who are new, thank you. Hopefully you've signed up to subscribe to Grant's channel. Keep in mind, this is a dual effort. We share responsibilities. It's on Grant's channel this week, and every other week it would be on mine. So if you're not subscribed to me, please head on over there as well. That way you get notified when we do these things. So thanks a lot. It's great. Head on over to Monster Rush channel. He's having an after party. I think that's where all the girls are heading anyways. And we're going to have some fun over there. But nevertheless, thanks for tuning into the CarrGuy and SixFan show, guys. Stay focused on the windshield, not the rearview mirror. We will see you guys at our Christmas special coming up in just a few weeks.